This experience happened in 2017. At that time, I was experiencing some difficulties at work. There had been some disconnect between my colleagues and I. There was a lack of effective communication and trust between us. I felt like I was always excluded from the team and didn't get the support and respect I deserved, which made me feel uncomfortable. At work, there was a lack of cooperation and collaboration between colleagues, and we did not accomplish our tasks well. In addition, I found myself deficient in many areas. The skills are not skilled enough, the thinking is not quick enough, and it is hard to find solutions to problems. This made me feel inferior and helpless, and I felt as if I was a useless person. Just then, I remembered an old friend of mine who had a lot of experience and skills in his work and also knew very well how to get along with people. I realized that talking to him might give me some help and a way to solve my problems. So I called him and asked if he was free in the evening and if we could have dinner together. He quickly said yes to my invitation, and I felt very happy. During the chat with him, I got a lot of inspiration and advice. I re-examined my work and life, and I learned how to get along and cooperate with my colleagues. The gathering was very meaningful to me and made me feel soothed and improved. At about 10 p.m., I felt a little tired and decided to drive home to rest. But just as I was driving around a corner, I suddenly saw a car crossing the road in front of me. I was too late to brake and hit the car. The impact was so violent that I heard an ear-splitting sound of metal scraping and cracking. My body was in great shock. I felt my head hit the steering wheel. My consciousness slowly began to blur and my vision began to become blurry. I felt very scared and uneasy. I tried to lift my head, but found it in great pain, as if it was about to explode. I kept rubbing my head, trying to keep myself conscious. However, my mind started to become confused and I felt that I was out of control and could not stay awake. It felt like everything around me was slowly disappearing. Suddenly, I found myself in a dark tunnel. The tunnel was very quiet. I saw a bright light appear at the end of the tunnel. The light seemed very bright and dazzling, attracting me to keep walking forward. I finally reached the end of the bright light and I saw a beautiful angel waiting for me there. She had glowing wings, wore a white robe, and had a friendly smile on her face. I was amazed, for I had never seen such a beautiful sight before. The angel approached me and said in a gentle voice, "Please don't be afraid, it is safe here and I am here to greet you." The angel led me to a spacious room. The room was amazing, it was like a movie theater, but without a ceiling. The light in the room was very soft and made people feel very comfortable and relaxed. There was a screen in the center of the room, and the screen began to show my past life. There were some good memories and some not so good experiences. There were a few things that stood out to me. I saw the following scene. On the occasion of my grandmother's 80th birthday, my whole family came to this special celebration. My family lives on the edge of town and my grandmother's family is in the mountains, so every trip to my grandmother's house needs to be planned well in advance. When we arrived at my grandmother's house, she was in the garden chatting with the neighbors. When she saw us, she was very happy. We went into the house together and my grandmother had prepared a lot of fruits and pastries. We sat together in the living room. Grandma took out a guitar and started singing a folk song from her hometown. We were all infected by Grandma's singing and sang along with her. The whole room was filled with joy. This memory made me feel very happy and satisfied, and I experienced the warmth and affection between family members in this scene. On the screen, I saw some bad things I had done, such as unintentionally hurting people around me, saying hurtful words, and some dishonorable behaviors. At work, there were some disagreements between a colleague and me. We had a difference in our views and handling of a project. I thought my solution was better, but my colleague presented her idea. In the ensuing discussion, I did not listen carefully to my colleague's ideas, but insisted on my own point of view. It was even a bit cold and arrogant. This made my colleague feel neglected and disrespected. Later, our interaction at work became more unfriendly. When I saw the bad things I had done, I felt very ashamed and remorseful. I tried to apologize to the angel, but instead of scolding me, the angel gave me an encouraging smile. Next, I saw the scene I least wanted to remember. I saw the mistakes I had made in my relationship. I already had a girlfriend at the time, but I was still dating another girl. I thought at the time that I could handle this kind of thing, but in reality I was just hurting others and myself. I asked a girl out on the sly one night. We went to a small bar and had a few drinks. We drank and drank until late. Later, I went to the girl's house to spend the night. I didn't realize that my girlfriend had come to that bar that night as well. I don't know why she came or where she saw us. She didn't expose me on the spot. The next day, she asked me, "Where did I go last night?" I said, "I was drinking with a company colleague." She was angry and asked me why I was dating another girl. I felt so ashamed and sad. I knew I had done wrong. She said she couldn't trust me anymore and broke up with me. I was so sad and lost, and I knew I had caused it. When I saw this scene, I felt very remorseful and ashamed, but the angel didn't blame me. The angel told me that everyone makes mistakes and that it is important to learn from them. After hearing the angel's words, I felt much better and more confident to face my future life. The angel continued. When you come to heaven, you will see your life on earth. This review is not to judge your past, but to help you review the meaning of your life and have a more comprehensive knowledge of your actions. It is a process of self-censorship, where you will see your good and bad. But no matter what you have done, you will not be judged here, because in heaven we believe that everyone has value and we accept everyone for who they are. The angels also told me that everyone has a place in heaven where they belong. The location depends on one's experience and growth on earth. Each person's place is unique. They are here to continue their journey of growth and to know themselves and the universe in a more profound way. I felt very blown away, and this place made me feel very calm and comfortable. The angels took me on a tour of this beautiful place. I saw all kinds of wonderful sights. I saw a lot of wonderful architecture, and billowing clouds and gorgeous rainbows. Everything here was so beautiful and peaceful. When I walked up to a house, I was fascinated by the sight of the yard. The inside of the yard was full of harmony and beauty. I saw an old man sitting in the garden. He was surrounded by some people who were chatting happily and seemed to be very happy. This old man had a happy and contented smile on his face. His eyes were full of warmth and care. I could feel his kindness and wisdom. There was a group of small children playing under the tree, and they didn't seem to have any worries. They were playing various games. These little children were enjoying the good time without any worries, and their faces were full of innocence and naivety. In the yard there are some small animals. They are walking around freely, enjoying this wonderful world. There is a little rabbit eating grass. There is also a small squirrel jumping in the tree. The whole picture is full of harmony and warmth. This yard seems to be a paradise of contentment and happiness. Here, I felt myself become more calm and relaxed, and my body and mind were greatly soothed. It was a wonderful moment that one cannot forget. I asked the angel if I could live in heaven. He looked at me with a smile and nodded his head, stating that I would be given eternal life and enjoy this wonderful peace of heaven with others. I felt very glad and grateful to hear this affirmative answer. A warm feeling welled up in my heart, as if I was already soaring freely in heaven, enjoying endless happiness and peace. I saw the angel's expression begin to turn serious. My heart began to feel a little heavy. He told me that although I would come to heaven at some point in the future, for now I had to return to earth. There, I still had my own tasks and responsibilities to fulfill. I felt a little sorry to hear this explanation. I wanted to stay, but I also understood that I had to return to real life to complete my mission and responsibilities. I nodded to the angel to show that I understood what he meant. Then I was taken back to the scene of the crash by the angel. My soul returned to my body. My breathing became very rapid and the scene in front of me was still so blurry. The angel gently lifted me up, helped me adjust my breathing, and kept me awake as long as possible. His hand gently patted my back to help me relax my body and my mood. With the angel's help, my breathing slowly began to settle down and I gradually recalled the scene when the accident happened. I felt some soreness in my body, but fortunately, I was not hurt too much. The angel was by my side constantly offering comfort and encouragement, making me feel that I was not alone and helpless. He told me to stay awake and calm. Soon the ambulance arrived on the scene. As I was carried into the ambulance, the rescuers immediately treated me. The doctors carefully examined my body condition. They treated the wound very professionally, which made me feel very relieved. As I was being treated by the doctors, I turned around and saw that the angel was still by my side. His gaze was full of concern and warmth. He waved goodbye to me and slowly disappeared with a smile on his face. Although the angel had told me the reason why I had to return to earth, I still felt some loss and reluctance. I knew the angel was there to help me, and he gave me the courage and confidence to face the challenges in my life. When the ambulance arrived at the hospital, the doctors and nurses quickly moved me to the emergency room. With the help of the medical staff, I recovered quickly. I knew that angels were always with me. After this experience, I began to appreciate every good moment in my life more. Work harder to follow my dreams and goals. Because I know that whether in heaven or on earth, we should have a brave and determined heart to meet every miracle and challenge in life.